Sunday night, sponsored by Kane University, Sunday after CBS News New York. Now you can get your CBS New York news, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.
All right, welcome back. In Broadway and beyond, a classic diner, a one-time staple across New York City. You used to be able to find one every couple of blocks, not so much anymore.
On stage, however, a diner serves as the centerpiece for a new play called The Counter, now running at the Laura Pels Theater. The cast includes Anthony Edwards as Paul and Susanna Flood as Katie.
How old is your first customer?
Well, you've seen Al and those guys in here a few times.
Yeah, I know that occasionally they're earlier than me, but I mean, for the most part.
Yes, Paul, you're my first.
Monday through Saturday?
Monday through Saturday. I don't know what you do on Sundays, but I cry my eyes out.
It's a secret.
And joining us now is Anthony Edwards and the show's director, Tony winner, David Cromer. Welcome to you both. Thanks so much for being here. This is really fascinating to think about the diners we were just talking about a moment ago, a place where conversations take place, gathering places. And I wonder, David, if you could give us a little bit of a sense of the plot here without giving too much away, because there are some particularly layered conversations, as I understand it, that take place.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, the diner is obviously the jumping-off place. It's called The Counter, and it's in a... And so there's a set of rules to that relationship, to the relationship of the person in the sense of community diners, as you were discussing, the customer who comes in and sits and the person who serves them, and they go back and forth, and there's barriers, and there's boundaries, and then there's sort of pleasantries. And that's, and we all obey them. We know what they are, and we obey them. And slowly over the course of this play, this relationship changes in very, very unexpected ways. And so that's it. So it starts with the rules we all understand of the diner, and then starts to chip away and creep past that, and I think very, very moving and very potentially soul-healing ways.
Oh, you know, I don't want to pry too much to make you give away what changes, but, you know, Anthony, you're the customer. Your conversations with the waitress, your character's conversations, are sort of what drive this. And so does the conversation flow to that place where everything sort of changes in front of the eyes of the
Yeah. I mean, I think what's interesting and fun is actors coming into this world, and it's a play. Plays are about drama and conflict and everything. And the truth is that these two characters we learn to discover are pretty isolated in their lives, very personally, very privately. And that thing of creating a relationship and having communication between the two is what starts to push it, because basically, not giving anything away, my character's like, what if we really become friends? What if we really talk? What if we really share things? Because we're here in this space. And in a sense, it's kind of why we're drawn to diners anyway, because people have that. There are people, the playwright talks about it, that there are people in the town that she grew up in where they have breakfast at this place and lunch at this place every day, because that is their community. And these relationships, however deep they get, are really important. And I think that's what we touch on in the play, which is that ultimately it's all about connection. And if the antithesis of that would be isolation. So how do we find connection in this world?
Yeah, David, I wonder if you can talk a little bit about sort of the staging and whether the audience will get some hints ahead of time as the conversations evolve. Are there going to be kind of glimpses into the way in which the dynamics change?
Yeah, there are, and they're really beautifully executed. Not by me; they're really beautifully executed. First of all, by the subtlety of the writing and by the nuance and observational nature of the actors, which is she writes things that seem a little ordinary in work-a-day in early portions of it, but the audience really, really senses. It's beautifully played by Susanna and Anthony. Moments when someone starts to transgress or push a boundary or say something that you might not normally say, and you just feel the audience sort of sees it. Oh, is that what it did? You know, is she showing us something? Is he coming near a vulnerable place? And so it's fascinating. It is in the intricacy of the writing it's in the execution of the acting.
I am very sure and certain that that is true. And I'm fascinated by what you're describing. You're talking about almost breaking down that wall, that barrier, where maybe you know somebody's name, never goes further than that. You've been in action movies. This feels like a complete, you know, sort of immersion into conversation that has to feel in some ways much deeper for you as an actor.
It is. I think it's why we love theater. We love going. I love going to theater. I know David does too. Like the ability as an audience and actors to be able to let the audience be the fly on the wall, to experience that human connection and that thing, and that's what we want. And in the theater you get to experience it live, and that's, I think, why people keep coming back. And since the Greeks, we keep needing that, because the audience gets to feel the same intimacy that they're witnessing with the actors.
Well, it's
so
such
when the playwright's well written and beautifully directed.
Such a compelling idea to think about how a conversation can evolve and have many layers that perhaps violate some norms, right? That makes it interesting. Anthony, David, thank you so much for being with us
Great
today.
having you guys here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Best of luck going forward. The Counter is running now through the 17th at the Laura Pels Theater. We'll be right back.